The Last Transmission. In the year 2145, humans had made remarkable progress. Cities floated in the sky, artificial intelligence handled everyday tasks, and space travel was as common as flying on Earth. One of the most significant advancements was the discovery of a new habitable planet called Xylar in a distant galaxy. Xylar was similar to Earth, with blue skies, rivers, and mountains. However, nobody knew if it had life, or if it was safe. The Space Exploration Agency, SEA, decided to send a team of scientists and astronauts on an expedition to Xylar. The mission was named Project Horizon. Captain Leo Grant, a skilled astronaut, was chosen to lead the team. Alongside him were Dr. Tessa Lane, a brilliant scientist, and Max, an advanced AI robot capable of analyzing complex data in seconds. The journey would take 5 years, but the team was prepared for the long voyage. After years of silence from the spaceship Starlight, the crew finally arrived near Xylar. As they approached, they could see the planet's beauty. Green continents, vast oceans, and snowy mountains covered the surface. It was a place that seemed almost too perfect. "Captain, we're ready for the landing sequence," Dr. Lane said, excitement shining in her eyes. Captain Grant nodded, and the spaceship smoothly descended through Xylar's atmosphere. The landing was perfect, and the crew took their first steps on the new planet. Xylar's air was fresh, and the landscape was stunning. They could hear a soft breeze and see strange, colorful plants unlike anything on Earth. The team began to explore, setting up their equipment and collecting samples. Everything seemed peaceful, almost too peaceful. A few days into their exploration, Max, the robot, detected an unusual energy signal coming from a mountain range nearby. "Captain, I'm picking up a strong signal. It appears to be artificial," Max reported. Dr. Lane looked at Captain Grant, surprised. "Could there be intelligent life here?" she asked. Intrigued, the crew decided to investigate. They packed their gear and started their journey toward the mountains. As they got closer, the signal grew stronger. The terrain became rougher, and strange glowing rocks began to appear. The rocks emitted a faint hum, adding to the mysterious atmosphere. Finally, they arrived at the source of the signal, a massive metallic structure hidden deep within a cave. The structure was unlike anything they had ever seen. It was sleek and shiny, with symbols carved into its surface. The symbols glowed in a soft blue light. Max scanned the symbols. "These markings are part of a code," he said. "They seem to represent some form of language." Dr. Lane leaned in, fascinated. Could this be a message from an alien civilization? The team activated their translator device, and Max began decoding the symbols. The message read, "To those who discover this place, beware of the shadows." The crew looked at each other, puzzled. "Shadows? What does that mean?" Captain Grant wondered aloud. Just then, the cave started to tremble. The team felt a chill in the air, as if the temperature had dropped suddenly. A strange shadow appeared at the entrance of the cave. It was a dark, shifting form with no clear shape. It moved like smoke, but seemed alive. The shadow floated toward them, making a low, whispering sound. Max quickly analyzed the creature. "This entity is made of dark matter. It's not solid, yet it's very much alive." The shadow moved closer, and as it did, Captain Grant felt an overwhelming sense of fear and despair. "We need to get out of here," he said, his voice shaky. The crew ran out of the cave and back down the mountain. But the shadow seemed to follow them, moving effortlessly through the rocks and trees. They reached their base camp, but the shadow was still close behind. "We need to activate the defense shields," Dr. Lane shouted. Max quickly turned on the shields, creating a protective bubble around them. The shadow stopped at the edge of the shield, unable to get through. "We're safe, for now," Captain Grant said, catching his breath. Dr. Lane looked at him, fear in her eyes. "What was that thing, and why was it warning us?" Max processed the data. "I believe the shadow is a native life form of Xylar. It may be trying to protect something, or perhaps it sees us as a threat." The crew spent the night inside the shield, unable to sleep. The shadow circled the shield, watching them. In the morning, they made a decision. They had to leave Xylar. The risk was too great, and they didn't want to disturb whatever existed on this planet. As they packed their equipment, Max noticed something strange. "Captain, the signal is changing. It's transmitting again." They listened carefully as a new message played. "You are safe to leave, but do not return." The team hurried back to their spaceship and prepared for takeoff. As they ascended, they could see the shadow watching from below, its form fading into the landscape. Captain Grant felt a mix of relief and sadness. Xylar was a beautiful world, but it wasn't meant for humans. Back in the spaceship, the crew set a course for Earth. They knew they had discovered something extraordinary, something beyond human understanding. As they traveled through space, Dr. Lane recorded their findings, and Max saved the data from Xylar. The transmission log from Xylar was the last entry in the Starlight's records. After that, they returned home safely, but the team never forgot the shadows of Xylar and the mysterious message, "Do not return." The expedition remained one of the greatest mysteries in space exploration history. A story of beauty and danger, of a world that humans were never meant to inhabit. And even today, the shadows of Xylar are waiting in silence, guarding their secrets in the dark corners of the universe.